Do you ever notice how sometimes friendships can get stronger when things go wrong? Going through something scary can completely change how you see people around you. Today, I'm going to introduce you to three books that explore exactly that. They are Looking for Smoke by K.A. Corbell, Under the Surface by Diana Urban, and Death in the Jungle by Candace Fleming. Each one is completely different. The first is a mystery, the second is a survival thriller, and the third is a nonfiction memoir. But they all ask the same question: what happens to people when trauma forces them together? Let's start with our first book, Looking for Smoke by K.A. Corbell. Imagine spending the weekend at a community celebration with your friends. Everything's normal until someone gets murdered. Suddenly, everyone is looking over their shoulder and wondering who can be trusted. That's where our story begins. The novel follows four Native American teenagers from the Blackfeet Nation, and each one was in the last group of people to see the murdered girl alive. They're trying to clear their name, and as a reader, you get to hear from each teenager's point of view and perspective. Each chapter is told from a different teenager, and it's hard to determine who can be trusted. As the investigation progresses, families are impacted, friendships are put to the test, and secrets begin to surface. But the story is about more than just solving one murder. Soon, another missing girl is found and thought to be murdered by the same suspect. Throughout the novel, the author Carbell weaves in real life missing and murdered Indigenous women crisis facts. She helps readers understand that Indigenous women and girls disappear or are murdered at a much higher rate, and that many of these cases receive any attention or very little justice. This novel includes many facts and statistics that raise awareness about this ongoing crisis. It makes the mystery feel more powerful because it's inspired by real issues affecting Native communities still today. One of my favorite things about this book is that every chapter gives you another clue. And just when you thought you figured it all out, you find out there's another surprise headed your way. If you like mysteries that keep you guessing, characters who feel real, and twists you won't see coming, Looking for Smoke by K.A. Corbell deserves a spot on your reading list. Next is Under the Surface by Diana Urban. If someone invited you to a secret party beneath the streets of Paris, would you go? What if that decision changed your life forever? While she's in Paris on a class trip, Ruby is trying to keep an eye on her more adventurous friend, Val, who sneaks out to meet a mysterious French college student. Before long, Ruby, Val, and two classmates, Ruby's ex best friend Selena, and Olivia, a girl she hardly knows, find themselves headed into the underground Paris catacombs. Instead of finding an exciting underground party, they become lost in a maze of tunnels lined with the remains of millions and millions of skeletons of people from Paris's past. As they search to find a way out, they realize they're not alone. Someone or something is hunting them through the darkness. Above ground, Sean, the boy Ruby has feelings for, refuses to give up searching for her as the disappearance of the four teens becomes international news. The action never really slows down, but what makes the story memorable is how the relationships change. People who barely trusted one another have to work together if they want to survive. Others discover that the people they thought they knew aren't exactly who they seem to be. If you're looking for a book that's creepy, suspenseful, and impossible to put down, Under the Surface by Diana Urban might keep you reading up past your bedtime. Our final book is Death in the Jungle by Candace Fleming. This tells the true story of People's Temple and the tragedy of Jonestown in 1978, where more than 900 people lost their lives in one of history's deadliest cult disasters. Candace Fleming doesn't just explain what happened, she helps readers understand why so many ordinary people believed Jim Jones in the first place. Many people joined because they wanted equality, acceptance, or hope. Over time, though, Jones isolated them, manipulated them, and made them believe there was no life outside his group. What makes the book so powerful is that it reminds us that those weren't just names in a history book or people that drank the Kool Aid. They were real people with families, dreams, and friendships. Many really believed they were building a better future together, which makes the ending even more heartbreaking. Even though you already know the historical outcome, the book still feels very suspenseful because you keep hoping that someone will find a way to change what happens next. It's fascinating, heartbreaking, and a powerful reminder to think critically, ask questions, and recognize when someone is using fear and manipulation to control others. If you enjoy true stories that are fascinating and thought provoking, Death in the Jungle by Candace Fleming is a book that will stay with you long after you have finished reading. Even though these books are very different, they all show how trauma can change people and the relationships that they have with those around them, whether it's solving a murder, like in Looking for Smoke, fighting to survive underneath Paris and Under the Surface, or learning from real life tragedy in Death in the Jungle. Each story asks what happens when people are pushed to their limits and who they can depend on to help them. If you enjoy suspense, emotional stories, and characters that keep you thinking after you finish the last page, I hope you check out Looking for Smoke by K.A. Corbell, Under the Surface by Diana Corbin, and Death in the Jungle by Candace Fleming. You might just find your new favorite read.